Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. Holland's Classroom, where today we're going to be doing UFLI Lesson 86, where we're doing our long O vowel teams. This is day one, so are you guys ready to get into it? Yeah! Let's go. We're going to check our schedule here, and we're going to start with our phonemic awareness practice. So let's get into it. Okay, so for phonemic awareness practice, first thing we're going to do is blending. I'm going to give you the sound, and you're going to take it and put it together. So if I go S-O, you say S-O, slow. Good. Now let's do F-R-O, F-R-O, throw. M-O-T, M-O-T, moat, R-O-st, R-O-st, roast. Good. Now we're going to segment, do the opposite. I'm going to give you the word like blow, and you're going to say blow. B-O-O, okay? Toad.
Toad.
Toad. Good. What about boat?
Boat. Boat.
One more. Toast.
Toast.
Oast. Well, that one had four. Oast. Good job. All right, now let's move on to our visual drill, where you are going to see a grapheme. I like saying grapheme because it helps us to realize that this is the picture of the letter. So we're going to take a look at the picture of the letter. Like this says E. Good. What about this one? E. Also good. E. Very good. A. Long A vowel team. A. Or after a W, good. Or R. Y or I or E, good. J, a little faster. G or J. A or A, I or I, O or A, E or A, U or oo or Good, that one's got three. All right, good. Now we're going to move to our auditory drill. So my friends have their boards and markers ready. You might have a pencil and paper, but I'm going to give you a couple of phonemes. So just the sound. Phone means sound. I'm going to give you the sound, and then you are going to write down how it should look, how it should be spelled. You're going to write the grapheme. I will say the phoneme. So how can we write E? Okay, so I see E by itself can do it. I don't like this as much as black. All right, E by itself can say it in an open syllable. I see E, I see E-A, I see words like that have a silent E's like Pete can say it. E-Y can say it. Very good. Lots of different ways to spell it. Okay, now let's do what can say So E-R, I see I-R, I see U-R, and of course the bonus, O-R, but only if there's a W before it, like word, w-er-d. Good. Now let's do one more. What can say A? I'm looking for three in particular. Okay, so A by itself, if it's at in an open syllable, can be A. I see A-Y, A at the end of a syllable, and I see A with sneaky E. We know that one, but there's one I'm looking for. Oh, right here. A-I, like in the middle of ain, rain. Good job. Erase your boards, put your marker caps back on. Put your papers away, whatever it is. And we are going to go into our blending drill. All right, so for our blending drill, we're going to start out, and you guys are going to simply read the words I'm spelling. What does that say? Grain. How about this? Green. What about this? How about grim? Very good. Things are looking grim. What about this? The E makes the I say I. Grime. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit faster. What about grime? What about chime? What about time? What about time? What about tune? What about tone? How about this one? It's kind of a weird one. Tome. How about if I do this? Tom. My good friend's name is Tom. How about team? How about ream? It's like a group of papers. What about this? Dream. And last but not least, drum. Very good. Now we're going to move on to our last part, the new concept, where we're going to be talking about our long O vowel team. So let's check it out. Okay, so long O says O, like open. So that's at the beginning of a word. But let's look at the vowel team. So we already knew about this one. That's the E, which makes the O say O. We've learned about that in a previous lesson. If you haven't learned it, go check that lesson back out. But we also know that O and an open syllable, like cozy, co, the O makes its long O sound. But let's talk about the vowel team parts now. So vowel teams, again, are two or more letters that work together to make one sound. And this is a vowel sound still. So we're going to take a look at a couple. So OA can say O, say O. And we see it in the middle of a syllable or in the middle of one syllable words like boat and road. Those are the two examples that come to my mind. You can find it at the beginning of words like oat and oak, type of tree. And then you don't usually find it at the end. You might find like one or two words that have it at the end, but it's not very common. So now we're getting into OW, which you will mostly find at the end of a word most of the time. So we'll look at words like show and grow. Some will be like, well, what about OA? Well, OA would be in the middle and the beginning, but OW would be more at the end. So that's when you would find that. But sometimes you might see it in the middle, like in bowl and flown. Very rarely. Sometimes we go, what about town? Town has OW in the end. Well, that's when OW says out. We haven't learned that one yet. Check that video out when you get a chance. But now let's talk about OE, because OE also is one that you can find a lot at the end of a word. So OE saying O at the end of a word like toe. That's what I was thinking of anyway. Toe or doe, like a female deer, is called a doe, D-O-E. So here's all of our long O patterns. Let's take a look. There's a lot. O with a silent E. O in an open syllable. O-A in the middle or at the beginning. O-W at the end and sometimes in the middle. And O-E that is pretty much always at the end of a word. Long O. Very good. So let's take a look. If you want to write some, you can. We're going to go into the reading part. So I'm going to read these couple ones. So let's go. Road, grow, toe, window. They put a two-syllable word in the window. Cool. Now I need everyone to read with me. Boat, toad, coast, coach, low, show, own, grown, foe, yellow. Ooh, another one. If you want to write out any of these spelling patterns, you can, but we're going to wrap this up. So give yourselves a round of applause, pat on the back, kiss on your brain. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.